Today is Wednesday, November 23, and let's read the morning brew to see what is happening in the stock market the day before Thanksgiving. So, good morning. If you open your laptop in the next few days to find a morning brew, it'll only be because you spilled coffee everywhere. We are off through the rest of Thanksgiving week to spend time with our families and explain the FTX collapse to them. I actually wonder how many people will be talking about this at their Thanksgiving dinner table. Like, it's gonna be a great conversation, right? Because last year, I'm pretty sure everybody was talking about crypto and making money. This year, are people gonna be talking about their losses, or is this gonna be something we just sweep under the rug and say we were never part of? So let's see what's going on. The Nasdaq is up, the S&P, the Dow, the 10-year is down, Bitcoin's up, and American Eagle is up. All right, so market stocks zoomed higher after a batch of retailers posted strong financial results ahead of Black Friday, and it might be time to break out the puka shell necklace. Both Abercrombie and Fitch and American Eagle popped by double digits after topping earning projections. You know, these are two stores that I haven't shopped at in a long time, but maybe I should go to the mall and see how they're doing, right, and see if I want to invest in them. I gotta check them out. So, travel. Thanksgiving air travel will never be the same. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and you're probably scrambling to fire off emails before joining a crowd of other travelers at the airport heading home for the holidays. Or maybe you're already at home, leisuring, taping at your keyboard from the couch while the smell of pumpkin pie wafts from the kitchen. In this age of hybrid work, typical holiday travel schedules are being upend as employees unchained from the office make travel plans with their own terms. What are the side effects of this shift? For one, airlines are expecting less of a mad rush during what traditionally has been peak Thanksgiving travel times and more of a low boil across the entire week. That appears to be playing out on both Sunday and Monday. More people pass through TSA checkpoints than they did on the same days in 2019. It's also making life easier for airlines and passengers. Airlines say that their businesses are easier to run when the chart of travel demand looks less like Rockies and more like plains. We're seeing demand is more spread out. I see it all over the place, and that bodes well, American Airlines CEO Robert Isom said at the Skift Aviation Forum. And for passengers, the more work flexibility equals more opportunity to snag low price tickets at all times. I'm so happy, you guys. Because I remember before, people would always travel the day before Thanksgiving, and it was a mess. At LAX, it was a mess. But I'm really happy to see that people are now able to go and leave since Sunday, Monday. Isn't that even better? You get to spend more time with your family. I don't know. For me, I think that's a win, and hopefully that stays around because we all need to spend time with family. But overall, the travel industry is bullish on a future where the line separating businesses and leisure travel is increasingly blurred. Call it bleisure if you can handle the cringe. With 35% of all business trips now including a weekend, airline execs say they can capitalize as long as they better understand when people are flying in this new normal. Any normalization would be welcome in an industry that's been shaking up the past few years. First by COVID keeping everyone at home, then thought getting overrun by the rebound in the travelers once the world opened up. Airfares are really expensive this fall. Peak prices for a domestic Thanksgiving round flight will top more than $450, and prices for Christmas flights are at a 5-year high. I think that's normal, you guys. If you're gonna fly out during Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, be prepared to pay. That's just normal, right? So what is going on in the world and the headlines? So student loan repayment pushed back again. President Biden extended the pause for borrowers making student loan payments back from this New Year's Eve to June 30, 2033. There has been more delays on this deadline, 8 than there were planned Avatar sequels, but Biden doesn't want to resume the payments until his plan to forgive up to $20,000 of student loan per debt conquers the many legal challenges it's facing. Last year, a federal court blocked Biden's plan from going into effect, and earlier this month, a Texas federal judge deemed the debt forgiveness unlawful. And look, you guys, I have student debt, and I really hope some of it gets erased. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. And if you paid your student debt, you should get like a tax credit or something, right? If you were responsible, you should get something. But then again, remember, you guys, during the pandemic, a lot of people were at home collecting that unemployment money while other people were working. So the world is just not fair. You can never make everybody happy. But FTX lawyers unload on SBF, calling FTX the personal fiefdom of former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried. Lawyers in charge of handling the crypto exchange's bankruptcy said that FTX spent $300 million on real estate for its senior staff and SBF's parents. But if this was indeed a fiefdom before, it's now a barren village. A substantial amount of FTX's assets have either been stolen or are missing, an attorney said, adding, "We have probably witnessed one of the most abrupt and difficult corporate collapses in the history of corporate America." That's just crazy to me. This is just crazy. Like, I don't know, FTX just came and like was everywhere. Like, everybody was, they were sponsoring everybody. Like, this guy literally had the best Ponzi scheme in the world. He came in with a bunch of money, started advertising. Like, this guy is interesting. So, Democrats cleared to get Trump's tax returns. In what appears to be the final chapter of a years-long legal battle, the Supreme Court refused former President Trump's request to block a House committee from accessing his tax returns. Democrats who run the committee have said they need to look at the documents to gauge whether the IRS is auditing presidential returns properly. Trump, who recently announced another bid for the White House in 2024, was the first president in 4 decades who refused to release his tax returns. And investors want nothing to do with this housing market. Oh, thank you. Maybe I can finally buy a house. HGTV better hope there are enough Property Brother bathroom remodels to cover a year of programming. The housing market's getting clobbered. The latest sign, home sales to investors plunged 30% annually in the third quarter. It shows how the unfriendly market conditions that have pushed regular buyers out of the real estate are also scaring off buyers with deeper pockets. The 30% drop is the steepest since the subprime mortgage crisis, aside from a couple of months at the onset of the pandemic. But after that initial COVID pullback, the investor market exploded. Firms bought up properties in high-demand areas, driving out first-time homebuyers and raising rents by double-digit percentages. In quarter 1, 2022, 1 in every 5 homes purchased was made by an investor. That shit just pisses me off. Keep Tarek El Moza in your thoughts. Home flippers aren't doing so great either. As of October, the share of investors using a mortgage to buy a house, add some subway tile, backsplash, and resell it for a profit is at a 3-year low, according to Mortgage Clearinghouse Optimal Blue. And I don't have a problem. I like that flippers do that, because honestly, first-time home buyers or a lot of home buyers, they don't want to go through that. Like, they want to buy the house ready for them to move in. So I know I'm talking a little bit of smack about people who flip. It's a tough conversation to talk about, you guys. So zoom out. Don't expect investors to ride the bench for long. Earlier this month, JP Morgan announced a joint venture with Haven Realty Capital to purchase $1 billion in houses. That's terrible. So on social media, the greatest mafia movie ever made isn't real. Of course not. It's social media. So the social media site Tumblr is having a viral moment right now after almost convincing the internet that Martin Scorsese directed a 1973 movie called Goncharov. Tumblr users have created expansive lore around the non-existent film, including soundtracks, books, essays, posters, and memes. The creation of a fictional Scorsese movie is textbook Tumblr. When an idea sparks the imagination of the blogging sites HiveMind, users binge create content around it. A Tumblr renaissance, Tumblr peaked in popularity in the mid-2010s, but it's been making a comeback over the past couple years with a recent boost from disgruntled Twitter users. During the pandemic, cool, euphoric teens joined the platform, and as of this January 48, the site's active users and 61% of the new ones were from Gen Z, per the New Yorker. Since advertisers love the youth, revenue has substantially climbed. Really? Gen Z is on Tumblr? This is the first I hear of this. Then came Elon Musk's chaotic acquisition of Twitter, and Tumblr's iOS downloads surged 62% the week after the deal closed? This is ridiculous. This is the first time I ever hear of this. In a dig at Musk's plan to charge $7.99 per month for one checkmark that displays next to a user's name, Tumblr now lets users buy 2 checkmarks for a one-time fee of $8 and up to $24 total. But expect in jest, the site's not trying to copy Twitter, and neither are other companies, including Google, Meta, and Microsoft. The business case just isn't there. That's so interesting. I on YouTube everyone's covering the Twitter drama, but nobody's covering Tumblr. Tumblr gaining popularity. That's crazy to me. So what's going on with the World Cup? Let's see. So Saudi Arabia beat Argentina 2-1 yesterday in one of the most shocking upsets in the World Cup history. Wow, Saudi Arabia beat Argentina? This is crazy. Just how impossible was it? 1/4 of all money wagered on the World Cup on DraftKings Sportbook is for Argentina to win it all, the most for any team, and 51st ranked Saudi Arabia was an 18-1 to 20-1 underdog in the match, meaning if you had bet 100 on the Saudis to win, you would have made up to $2,000. You know what? I would have done that bet just for fun. Like, imagine you won, like that's good money, and if you lost, it's only 100. It's yet another World Cup setback for Argentina star Lionel Messi, who has never won the tournament despite being one of the best to ever play the game. That sucks. So, the quote, my final message, maybe the final message I give from this podium is that please, for your own safety, for that of your family, get your updated COVID-19 shot as soon as you're eligible to protect your family, yourself, and your community. Dr. Anthony Fauci urged Americans to get their reformed COVID boosters in his final White House press briefing yesterday. Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease official and the leader of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease since 1984, announced this summer that he'd be stepping down to pursue the next chapter of his career in December. Fauci's plea come as public health officials warn that a viral jambalaya of respiratory infections threaten to push hospitals to the brink this winter. Why? This is the future. And what else is brewing? Here are the top stories that are open and closed on Thanksgiving. Oh, here are the top stories that are open and closed on Thanksgiving and the rest of the holiday week. You know what? I'm so happy stores don't open on Thursday anymore. I always thought it was whack. I remember I went one Thursday night after a Thanksgiving dinner to the mall. It was packed. But, like, it kind of took away from that moment. Like, oh, let's eat to go to the mall. I mean, it gave me and my cousin something to do. But we could have stayed home bonding. So I'm really happy that stores got away with this because it was destroying family time, you know. So Manchester United owners, the American Grister family, announced they're exploring options that include a potential sale of the soccer club. Hours earlier, they parted ways with star Cristiano Ronaldo with immediate effect. Todd and Julie Chrisley, reality TV stars who became famous from their TV show Chrisley Knows Best, were sentenced to multi-year prison terms for charges including bank fraud and tax evasion. That's good, you guys. Everyone needs to pay taxes. I pay taxes. They need to pay taxes because they're rich. They should. Finally, justice is served. Olivia Pichardo of Brown University became the first woman to be added to the roster of a Division I NCAA baseball team. You know, lots going on before the Thanksgiving holiday, and this was Wednesday's news roundup.